Hi, my name is Lucas, and today I'm going to talk about why I stopped running. Please enjoy. Just to recap a bit, I started running in March 2020 when the pandemic hit. I thought to myself that I needed a form of exercise outside of my gym because that was closed at the time, and I really poured a lot of time and energy into it. I read David Goggins' book, Can't Hurt Me, which I discussed in another video, which should pop up right now. And I really got very enamored with the idea of running long distances and suffering in a good way. Suffering so that you feel accomplished at the end of the day. I really got into hustle culture. I got into Jocko Willink and other figures that really advocate for going hard no matter how you feel. And that's what I did. And I did that for about a year. I stopped in February. And the main reason I stopped was that I noticed that it became an addiction for me. I used the Apple Watch every day, which I also made a video about. Sorry for the plugs. And I track my times, I track my speed, my distances, and I am someone who always likes to progress. So when I didn't go as long as I would the day before, or it wasn't as fast, it would really gnaw at me. It would bother me. It really would. And in the winter, I wanted to start emphasizing my weightlifting a bit more, and I wanted to gain some weight, gain some muscle. And I noticed that I was getting slower. And that's where the mental game really got tough. And I thought to myself, okay, it's one or the other. You're not gonna go running as long as you're doing right now and as fast as you're doing right now and also gaining weight. It's impossible. So that's when I decided to take a little break, and that break cascaded into me quitting, actually. I'm someone who loves cardio, but there was too much negative emotion involved with running, and I also got a little bit of an injury in the winter due to me overtraining, and that just goes back to my addictive behavior with it, my almost irrational way of running. So I'm not talking about the technique, I'm talking about the amount of miles I put in. It's not a crazy amount, but I just kept going despite soreness, despite pain, because I was so stuck in that ethos of you have to go hard every day. And I became a victim of that, and I decided that that was enough. So I started doing some other forms of cardio. I tried the trampoline, I did some walking with an incline. I started swimming, I started canoeing, and now I do a lot of jump rope. And I really started enjoying those other forms of cardio a lot more. I noticed that, hey, my joints aren't hurting anymore. I'm not feeling as sore because I can cross train now. I can hit out different muscle groups. And I realized that also it didn't take a lot of mental energy for me to do those other forms of cardio. Whereas running was very hard for me to get into, to do every morning. I would just look at my running shoes and I was like, man, here we go again. And I don't want to completely demonize running here because it is obviously my own mistake, my own fault that running got too much for me and I had to quit because I just developed a bad relationship with it. I treated it in the wrong way. I did it too much. I went too hard at it. And I think there's definitely a place for running in every person's life. But if you're a little bit heavier, it can mess with your joints. If you are someone like me who really goes hard at things, maybe it's not the best form of exercise. I think there's forms of exercise that you can do for a lot longer without it hurting you as much, like biking, for example. Just doesn't hit up the joints in the same way. It's very good. Same with walking. I started walking a lot too. I really like that as well. It comes down to me finding different ways of cardio, me doing it too much, it consuming too much time. It was dragging me down emotionally, and I decided to quit. And it's been a great decision for me. And I think a lot of people can be happy with running. Right now, I prefer other ways. I prefer to not be stuck in that, and that is completely my own mistake. I got rid of the Apple Watch that was tracking my pace and my times, because that was also a point of pain, negativity in my life. I would always want to get better and better and better, up to the point where my body wouldn't want to take it anymore. I'm not talking about like going crazy hard, but definitely going too hard. I overtrained a couple times, minor injuries, you know. But yeah, that's about it. I hope you can learn from my experience, and maybe it applies to you as well. Maybe you have to look at yourself into the mirror and say, hey, maybe I am running too much. Maybe I'm training too much. Maybe I need to find some other forms of exercise. That was the case for me, and I think it's turned out really well. I'm happy I quit, and maybe I'll pick it up again once I could, but once I get bored of the other forms of exercise, I could pick it up again. But I like cross training. It is so good for the body. You can just hit up different muscle groups and it's great. So that's about it. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and please subscribe to this channel. Thank you. Goodbye.